Yeah, hello guys, welcome today. We're just gonna go over the 5 best amplifiers that you can actually use to start off your Atmos system. And I'm talking to guys that actually want to give a try at using power amplifiers as opposed to only running their AV receivers to their speakers. And this is my personal pick. You can have your own pick or probably a brand that you already use. Just stick with it, but just know that this is my pick. It's not subject for review as the very best, but these are just my pick. Number one is the Yamaha MX A5000. It's a 150 watts power amplifier, and it's a full 11 channel system, so you can actually get this. It's going to be able to work very well for your Atmos system. It's already pre-configured to work with any type of AV receiver that comes with pre-outs or power amplifier, AV processors that have pre-outs. Probably you're going to use AV RCA and XLR output to your power amplifier. Now this power amplifier can pump 150 watts into your speakers into 8 ohms, 180 watts in 6 ohms, and about roughly 200 watts into 4 ohms. So it's powerful, it's decent, it's not great, but it's powerful nonetheless. This is basically for guys that don't have a large room. And by the way guys, this is pretty loud. It's pretty loud. The only thing is that it has more efficiency in power intake. So basically it takes just 650 watts from your wall circuits, so you won't actually need a lot of current to run this power amplifier. Just 650 watts is basically what it's going to take, and it weighs 51 pounds. This is my number one, guys, and I believe you should consider trying this out for your AV receiver. Today is full 11 channels, so you don't need to buy another separate amplifier to get 11 channel extra when you get this system, and it's beautiful in design too, guys. And our number two is the famous, although very old right now, the Acurus PAMC 5500. This was launched 5 years ago. It was actually the very first power amplifier to come with 9 channels output from Acurus. The first time they started Dolby Atmos. You know, as you guys remember, Acurus was actually the first company to get the licensing from Dolby to have their AV receivers back in 2014 to give Dolby Atmos feature to people that actually want that in their home theater. So now getting their older MC5500 is decent. It's THX Ultra 2 certified, so you're getting 200 plus watts, or basically it's 200 watts rated into 8 ohms. This is as good as you getting maybe bigger amps from ATI and Emotiva. It's THX Ultra certified, so 200 watts is crazy, a lot of power. It takes 1100 watts of current from your circuit output. So basically you're going to be needing a very large basically you need around 15 to 20 amps dedicated circuit to run this, but when you get that, you're good to go with this power amplifier for a really long time. And number 3, guys, is the famous Marantz 877. It's still 150 watts. It's not as good as the Yamaha or the THX Ultra from Acurus, but it's reasonable in price, and it's cheaper than the last two I mentioned. It's $1,500. It's just 150 watts into 8 ohms. The toroidal transformer is not as good as the Yamaha, but this is a decent power amplifier if you are starting out Atmos, and it's just 7 channels. It's not as good as I said compared to the Yamaha, but it's decent, guys. This is my number 3, and I believe you should consider checking this out if you want something decent to start up your system. Now number 4, guys, is the Emotiva XPA Gen 3 7 channel. This costs $2,000, and you basically get 200 watts into 8 ohms, 300 watts into 6 ohms, and I think 400 watts into 4 ohms. So basically this is a very powerful power amplifier for any guy starting out any system, and they have a scaled down version of it. You can actually get the one of 5 channels that can go all the way up to 250 watts. There are the one for 3 channel which does 275 watts, and there is the stereo setup that goes up to 300 watts. So guys, all you need to know is that the lower you go in channel output, the better the wattage output, since it doesn't really need to run so much speakers to give you that output. Well, for the price, this is one of the very best made amplifiers to date. It was launched in 2016 and has always been called one of the best power amplifiers to date, so consider checking it out. It's on Amazon and it costs $2,000. Finally on my list is the famous Anthem MCA 525. Now this is a 5 channel power amplifier. It's 225 watts. It's more powerful than the Emotiva, and it's more power hungry. So if you're gonna get this, try and get a 20 amps or 15 amp circuit. This takes roughly almost 1500 watts from your current circuit. So always concentrate more on what takes a lot of energy from your current as opposed, and it's A and B. So basically it's taking more electricity than you probably get from your Yamaha, the Marantz, the Onkyo that I mentioned. So this will take a lot of current to run. But if you're gonna get 2 of these for your processor, be sure to get a very good power circuit to run these 2 power amplifiers that are beasts, and they are going to serve you for a very long time. Just be sure to feed it enough energy to work properly, guys. So it's still 225 watts into 8 ohms, and a little bit more if you are running lower ohm output into your speakers. And from every indication, this is a very beautifully made, well crafted Canadian power amplifier that can run for a very long time. So guys, if you like this content and it helps you out a lot, be sure to subscribe.